Bay. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for my intro. But back with another Mantra Monday. So I think I'm going to be doing Mantra Mondays and Marketing Mondays simultaneously. Maybe the Mantra Mondays will be posted on another day. I don't know how I committed to doing both, but I'm definitely interested in both topics. So this week, I'm going to talk about clearing energy and how to protect your energy, but how to clear your energy, how to regain your energy after like a long day at work or a bout of just really negative emotions or unwanted emotions, or just how to clear your energy from being around other people's energies, because it's really important. And so I know we throw the word energy around a lot, like it gets thrown around a lot, whether we're talking about the energy in the room, the vibe, the energy with, a partner, the energy with our friends, the energy at work, the energy in the world. Energy just gets thrown around a lot. It's a real thing. So how I would describe energy is basically I don't want to say vibe, but the vibe. But like the vibe, it's just something you can feel. Like, you can feel when you're happy. You can feel when there's tension in the room. You can feel all those things, right? So that's what energy is. Hopefully that's like a description. Like energy is emotion in motion. So it's like double. It's like you can feel the energy around other people and from other people and from yourself and from the world. So today I'm going to talk about a few ways that I personally keep my aura clear, and I try to keep my aura in a good standing. Disclaimer, every day is not going to be a great day. You're not always going to feel 100%. That's just not realistic. Like, we are humans. God gave us a million emotions for a reason. We are meant to feel. We are not meant to be happy 24/7. But we have the tools and the resources to deal with those emotions. And then once we deal with them or sit in them, as we like to say, moving past them. And so I say that because I was on the phone last night with a good friend of mine, and we're in our late 20s. Oh my God. We're not late 20s. I'm about to be 28, guys. So we're in our late 20s, and we're just talking about life, like where our life is at right now, being content, being single, being content while wanting other career opportunities or wanting to move or do these different things, still finding gratitude while also wanting more. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more out of life. Like, we have so much life to live. So of course we're going to continue to strive for more, right? But also finding gratitude within where we are right now, which I talked about last week with gratitude. But at the same time, also giving ourselves grace and patience to be like, okay, I'm in a funk today. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't sit in it for, don't let the funk turn into like depression or whatever it is, dread, guilt, resentment. Like, don't let it get that far. But I think emotions are okay, and that's so crazy. Like, I'm sure people who've known me forever would probably be like, I can't believe Sheridan's on here talking about emotions are okay. People grow up, guys, okay? People grow up. This is what the late 20s feels like. Emotions. But in all seriousness, we are meant to feel. Like, we're meant to feel sadness. We're meant to feel anger. We're meant to feel frustration. Like, we are meant to feel those things, because I feel like emotions are our body's way of telling us how we feel about something. And I know that sounds common sense, but if we're sad about someone passing, like, that's normal to feel that way. Like, that's your body letting you know, hey, you really cared about this person. Like, you really have feelings about this. Or frustrated because you haven't been promoted at your job. That's like our body's way of saying, hey, like, you're frustrated because you're not finding enjoyment out of this. And that frustration will lead to finding fulfillment in that job or looking for another job. Same thing with happiness. Like, we feel happy because we're content. So that's our body's way of letting us know, okay, we're in alignment. So I view it that way, like alignment and disalignment or unalignment. When we're aligned, we're feeling more positive, like high vibrational energy, whether that's happy, joy, contentment, love. I think love is the highest vibration, of course. It makes sense, right? But when we're out of alignment, we feel fear, we feel sadness, we feel frustration, anger, hopelessness. All those are low vibrational things, and we feel them for a reason. It's like stubbing your toe. Like, if we stubbed our toe and didn't feel pain, we wouldn't think anything. We wouldn't think to further investigate what may be going on with us. Versus we feel pain, so we're like, something's wrong down there. It's like when we get sick, it's like if our bodies didn't physically tell us that we were sick, we would be walking around, and people still are, because some people don't have symptoms for certain things until it's too late, but we would be walking around like not knowing something's wrong. So I wanted to say all that because I think sometimes we can get caught up in trying to be fully happy or fully positive all the time. I know sometimes I try to do it and I get frustrated when I have my moments of being human and I'm like, I can't believe I'm sad about this. Or I can't believe I'm upset about this. Or I can't believe I'm irritated. But it's like, those are all a part of being human. The key is not sitting in it, not spending 3 weeks being mad at this person or spending 5 days frustrated about something. So I feel like our emotions give us the signals to take action about something. And honestly, life would be dull if we were happy all the time. Not to say we can't be happy all the time, but I watch Abraham Hicks a lot, so you'll hear me reference them. And us having not negative emotions, but us having low vibrational feelings or emotions about things are literally our body's way of getting us back into alignment. It's like you wouldn't know what you like until you experience what you don't like. You're not going to know happiness until you experience sadness. You're not going to know joy until you felt frustration, So we need that contrast. That's what Abraham Hicks calls it, contrast. The only way we can even know what we like or what we enjoy is if we've experienced the contrast in the opposite of it. So that's my little spiel. I talked about it a little longer than I thought. But I wanted to say that before I talked about ways to clear energy and emotion, because we have to be honest about the fact that we are human. So that's a thing. So one of the ways, I'll run down the list. There's a list. Every time I want to get in alignment or nourish my spirit, and I think of it that way, like nourishing your spirit, I do different things all the time. Some days it may be coming home and turning my phone on Do Not Disturb and taking a salt bath. Salt baths, salt is very clearing. Salt has properties in it, and there's so many properties. I just suggest you Google them. But salt has a lot of properties in it that clears energy, literally. Like, not only can Epsom salt baths be good for our muscles and relaxation, but there are properties in salt that literally help refresh our bodies. Like, so one major way, you'll hear a lot of people in the spiritual community talk about this a lot, spiritual baths. And that can be getting some Epsom salt. That can be putting some safe essential oils in your bath water. That could be putting some flowers in your bath water. You could do so many things to where it's just, think of clearing your energy as like nourishing your soul. Like, you have a soul, and your soul has an energy and has an aura, and doing different things. And that's going to be different every time. Every time it's going to be different. So one way is taking a spiritual bath, taking a cleansing bath. Another way, or I'll segue into my next topic, is using some Florida water in your bath. So if you are familiar with Solange, or you follow any herbalists or any spiritualists, they talk about Florida water all the time. So if you smell Florida water, it smells like a cologne. Like, it literally says liquid water cologne. It smells like a cheap cologne, but not in a bad way. Hopefully that makes sense. But it comes in this little bottle. I'm actually gonna buy myself a spray can of it because sometimes I'm at work and I'm like, I just need to refresh my office. But the properties in it are very like cleansing and refreshing. So you can put a few drops in your bath water. You can put some in a spray bottle or just buy a spray bottle and spray it in the air. Sometimes I even just put some on my hand and just kind of like rub on my body. You feel refreshed, like you literally feel refreshed. So you can get this at your local Botanica. And I'm saying Botanica with a B. I feel like I said it with a P, but Botanica with a B. You can find this at your local Botanica, and I will also put the link down below too for my little Amazon storefront. So y'all can buy it from there too. But they also have a soap. So this is very cleansing. You'll hear a lot of herbalists, spiritual practitioners, anybody in that type of community talk about this. This is Florida water. So now you know. Florida water, I feel like a real YouTuber. Okay. So that's one way. Third way, burning sage. We hear people talk about sage all the time. Sage also is another herb. Sage is literally an herb because you can cook with sage that's not dried. An herb that has cleansing properties. Please, if you burn sage, please open your windows and open your doors. Burning sage without having your doors open and your windows open literally defeats the purpose because you're trying to let out bad energy or stagnant energy. Where is the energy going if you don't have the door and window open? So that's something else to just add a tidbit in there. I have some sage. So sage, this is actually a eucalyptus bundle. This is sage. We have like a ton of them in the house. There's a Botanica out here that sells sage that's wrapped in, I'm just dropping stuff. They have a Botanica that has like different herbs. So I bought one that's had lavender on it. You burn it like this, then you kind of blow it out. I'm not gonna burn it right now because I don't have my lighter right here. You burn it out and walk around the house. Sometimes I sage myself as well. If you sage yourself, start from the bottom, the soles of your feet to the top of your head, clear it around your head, let the smoke. I actually really enjoy the smell of sage smoke at this point in time. That's how you know I've been doing this too long. But I sage, sometimes I sage when people leave our house. I usually say regardless, it doesn't matter who it is, just because I view all of us as spiritual beings, obviously, right? We all have negative and positive energy. So the best bet is just when you have guests at your house, sage. At one point in time, I was saging every time I came home from work just to clear my aura from the day. So it has a lot of uses. I wouldn't burn it in the office because if people don't know what it is, it smells like weed. I had that problem. I was living at home when I first graduated from college. My dad might be watching this. And I burned sage and went to work. And my dad was like, "Did you smoke weed?" And I was like, first of all, do I smoke weed? Second of all, why would I smoke weed before I go to work? I was like 22, 23. I was just so irritated because I was like, why would I smoke weed in your house? Two, why would I smoke weed before I'm going to work? Doesn't make any sense. So just a heads up, if people don't know that you're burning sage, it may smell like ganja, some marijuana. So that is number 3. Number 4, which kind of goes to number 2, but a shower. Like I think I've been really big on taking showers like as soon as I get home. Even if I've gone to run errands or something, or I may come home from work and still have other stuff to do today, like a shower kind of like resets my day. It clears the energy of the day because I'm intentionally like, I can feel the water just kind of like brushing over me and clearing the energy off of the day. And it just gives me a reset. So there's been sometimes, especially during quarantine, even if I've been at home, I'll take a bath or a shower in the middle of the day just to like my reboot. Put some essential oils in your shower. I have eucalyptus hanging in my shower, which helps clear out sinuses because obviously if y'all watch my videos, you know that I have sinus issues. All of those things, great. So number 5, technically, take a nap. Like I used to hate naps as a kid, guys. Like I was that kid that was like, you want me to do what? I would not go to sleep. I would fake sleep. If y'all are watching this, I used to fake sleep sometimes, and my door was here and my window was here, and I would just turn over and I heard them come in and I would just say sleep. Now y'all know. Like, being an adult is so fun because you can just tell your parents all the stuff you used to do as a kid. I used to fake sleep like 90% of the time, and I would be in there like playing with cards, talking to my stuffed animals, you know, weird, cute things. So I really love naps now though. Like, naps are life. I regret all the naps I didn't take as a kid. I really do. Like, not that it would make up for now, but I regret it. I really do. I just always feel like I was gonna be missing something. And now I'm like, if I miss it, I wasn't supposed to see it. So take a nap. Even if it's 20 minutes, an hour, even if you just lay down and close your eyes for 10 minutes before you go start another task when you get home, it will help you reset your day so much. So that was number 5, I think. Number 6, meditating. This is a good one because you can do it anywhere. Sometimes I meditate at work. My office door stays closed most of the time anyway because it's COVID and I don't want to be there. But if you have the capabilities, close your office door. I literally will be in my office sometimes and just set a timer for like 5 minutes and just recenter. Because I need it sometimes during the day because I'm very task oriented. I really don't want to be, but I have to be with everything that I do. So I'm always constantly like, what task can I knock out? What can I do? What am I doing next? And sometimes I'll feel like I'm all over the place. And instead of letting myself like get to the point of frustration because I feel it when I'm about to, I'm like, you know what? Take 5 minutes, reset, refocus, close your eyes, do some deep breaths. I have a diffuser in my office, and a diffuser is like the little thing that put oils in it. It has a little steam coming, not steam, but like mist coming up. And I reset. And there's no perfect time to meditate. Obviously, meditating in the morning is great because you can start your day right. But this one is focused more so on, okay, your day has started and you need to figure it out because you're about to cut somebody out. This is the video for that. We'll do another like get ready, start the day video. But this is it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're pissed off or you're sad and you're trying to figure out how to reclaim the rest of your day. This is the video for that. So meditate wherever you are, in your car, at work, in the bathroom at work, at home. You have kids, find some quiet time. Be like, hey, husband, hey, wife, hey, girlfriend, I need 5 minutes of just y'all leaving me the hell alone. And go take your time. So that was number 6. Number 7 is journaling. Again, journaling is something that's great to do in the morning. There's these things called morning pages where you can get your entire day out. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about midday. You're trying to re-guide your life. Journal. Sometimes you don't have a friend you can vent to at the moment. Sometimes you are like, it can be a million things going on. Write it out. Like, I promise you, writing it out will feel so good because you've gotten it out of your head. That's really the main thing. Like, writing, you don't have to go back and read it later. Like, I definitely suggest having a journal that's strictly for venting and just talking shit. That should be that journal. You should have a journal for manifestations, goals, preferably a blue ink, because blue is more, I can't remember the reasoning behind it, but blue is better for intention setting. Other spiral, black ink, don't even read it again unless you just want to go back and see how crazy you were, which is good. I mean, you may want to go back. I wouldn't go back the same day, but maybe a month or 2 from now and just be like, oh my God, I'm crazy. Or, oh my God, I know it's a pattern. But other than that, let that be your event journal, your burn book, so to speak, if you're a Mean Girls fan, and let that be that. So I think that's my final tip. Those are things that I do to really just reset my energy, especially when I know I don't want to go down the dark rabbit hole. We all have that. We all have those moments where it's like it could go left and I could just continue to let these self-loathing, negative, angry, upset thoughts continue to take over my day. Or we can be like, okay, let me stop right here on these train tracks and shift direction. Every day is not going to be like that. There are some days where you may come home and be like, I'm about to get Chick-fil-A and drink this bottle of wine and take a bath and watch Netflix and sit in my feelings. That is okay too. I promise you. This video is strictly for when you're like, hey, I'm tired of feeling this way, or I have a habit of feeling this way and I don't want to continue to allow my days to be shitty. For me, it took a lot of self-reflection. I would say I've grown a lot. Like in the last probably 3 years, I started to slowly recognize when my day was going left. Like there, before it was like, okay, I would get home and I'm like, oh, today was just crappy, right? Like, and I couldn't pinpoint. It would suck because I'm like, I can't pinpoint when it happened. I know I feel sucky, but I don't know when it happened. Then I started to have more self-awareness and I'm like, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna be feeling crappy, I need to at least be able to pinpoint when it happened, right? And usually we can if we can be objective enough to go backwards that far. Like I was talking to my best friend and, she was in her feelings about some different things, but really couldn't pinpoint it. But as we started just having random conversations, I'm like, okay, we backtracked to like where exactly your feelings for sure went left. Like you might not be able to see it because you're in it, but she started talking about her day and then we started talking about other stuff. We weren't even talking about her feelings. And then she was like, yeah, well, you know what? I started thinking about this. And I didn't say it to her at the time, but I was like, that's when her day went left. Like your day went left when you had this thought and then that thought compounded on that thought. And then now you're like having a quarter life crisis. And it happens to all of us. Like it literally happens to all of us. So it's just taking self-reflection. Like I'm not perfect with it. Sometimes I'll let my day be crappy all the way to 6 o'clock in the evening. And I'm like, I still got a little time to turn it around. Or it'll be 12 o'clock or it'll be 3 o'clock. So sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, you need some extra loving today because you already woke up in a mood, right? So it takes control. It takes intention. Some days are easier than others. It's the days that are not going to be easy where you're like, okay. Sometimes I've gone to bed. There's been days I've gone to bed. I'm like, I know I'm not going to be in the mood for a lot of this stuff tomorrow. So I set an easy to-do list. I don't put a lot of crazy expectations on myself. I've started my days off on do not disturb before because I'm like, you know what? I'm not even ready to deal with people today yet. So I'm going to put my phone on do not disturb and I'll talk to y'all after 12 o'clock. So that's the thing. But it takes self-awareness. It's taken me like 2 or 3 years to be able to have the capabilities of recognize when things are about to go left. Like I could be having a great day, get overwhelmed at work and let that spiral. Or I remember when I first graduated from college, I was really, really obsessed with trying to figure out how to pay down my college loans in like a year because that was like the rage, right? And it would be like every 2 weeks at work, I would get in the mood and I'm like Googling ways to make extra money, Googling ways to pay down debt fast. And that feeling would put me in a mood to where I was like, it just spiraled. So my whole day went to shit because I let that one obsession like get me in this funk. And now I'm feeling bad about being 23 with college loans and, now all this other stuff. Now I'm thinking about something that happened 5 years ago and I'm mad at my boyfriend and I hate this job and all these things. And it's like, hey, just take 2 seconds and gather yourself, right? So once I realized that I had the power to do that, I started being aware. I woke up, it was a weekend, and I was like scrolling Instagram, saw some things on my Instagram story where I was just like, why? I was just like, and there's no explanation. The things I saw, it wasn't even anything that I should have felt a way about. It was just like, sometimes you see people in your story and you're just like, I didn't want to see that person. That's why I don't follow them. It was one of those things, if we're being transparent. And I felt myself falling back into a like funk that quickly. Like it was early in the morning. It was like, not early, but it was like 10 o'clock. And I was like, you have a lot of stuff to do today. You better get it together. You need to get it together. You are not about to let this day go to waste because of some stuff that you saw that got you in your feelings. So I journaled. about it. I meditated. So it took about an hour, but it was like, do I want to take this hour and do I want to sacrifice an hour of my day to have a really good day, or do I want to sit in self-pity and sadness and let that affect the rest of my day? I was like, old Sheridan would have did that. I'm not doing that today. So I journaled, I meditated, I went through my list of affirmations. I'm supposed to do that every day anyway. I have a coach that I do a whole list of things. So I did my affirmations. I did some visualizations, and I also listened to a couple of really motivational, like audio tracks. Like, so my coaching program I'm in, they do these things called Prosperity Power Circles. So they're about an hour-long call that they do every month on Thursdays, and they save all the recordings. So we have access to like 100 different recordings over a variety of things. So I listened to one about resistance, which I felt was applicable because sometimes we feel resistance towards things and we try to resist the resistance versus acknowledging we feel a certain way and then flowing through that. So I did that. I took a really good bath. I ate something good and I was like, I'm good. But it took first acknowledging my emotions and why I feel this way. Like, it's okay. Like, you feel this way. It's okay. But we're not about to let this ruin your day. So I just want to leave that with you because I'm not perfect. I'm out here trying to figure it out too. But we're going to figure it out together. So thanks for listening. Definitely let me know anything that you've taken to account, if you've tried something out. I feel like these are all very easy things that could be done in an hour and a half. And most of us have an hour and a half. You have kids and things like that. I understand. I don't have kids, but I understand. So I'm not trying to like act like everybody has the same amount of time. But even if you pick one or two things to do, I think it'll make a difference in your day. So thanks for listening. Definitely comment below if this was helpful. Subscribe, share with somebody who may be having a crappy day and want to get out of their funk. And yeah, until next time, I'm Sheridan. This is House of Untamed. These are Mantra Mondays, and I will see y'all later.